This episode of Real Garbage is brought to you by pants. I'm finally wearing a pair while recording a podcast.
This video is also brought to you by cracking a nice cold one on a hot day.
This is Real Garbage. Well, hello.
Spring is in the air.
Spring is in the air. Cherry blossoms are blossoming everywhere.
I'm Robert Goulet.
Robert Goulet, that's why I come up here. Nature Goulet. Well, it seems, I think we sound okay without our gigantic microphone cubes.
Yeah, our dice.
Here I was thinking we need to be professional, sound professional, but we still sound professional without them. I really feel like I'm leaning into this mic today.
I think it's because the dice is gone. Usually it's...
Oh, yeah, because the dice would have me back here.
Yeah.
But now I'm here.
Now you're here, baby.
But no, spring is here. I feel like all the cherry blossoms are almost gone already.
Yeah.
They have such a short lifespan.
I know.
Why? I have no idea why.
I was like, do I look like a floral botanist?
A botanist?
Yeah.
Botanist would work. I was going to say
Isn't
paleobotanist,
botanist-
but that's Jurassic Park style.
Yeah, and isn't botanist bugs?
No, that's a
No, it's
that's
botanicals.
entomologist.
Oh, okay.
The study of bugs. That's an entomologist.
I just know ophthalmologist because I'm blind.
No, isn't that optometrist?
What?
Isn't that optometrist?
What's
that does eyes?
ophthalmologist then?
I don't know, but the optometrist is your eyes. Ophthalmologist. I think that's...
Oh my God, I'm thinking of ophthalmologist combined with ornithologist, which is birds.
There you go.
Birds that are blind. It's a really...
The more you know. The study of
It's a
blind birds.
disease.
He was a blue jay that couldn't see past his beak. But the optometrist helped him with his eyes.
He was the best piano player in all the forest. They called him Blue Jay Ray.
Oh, how's your weekend?
Good.
What'd you do?
Oh, shitballs. What did I do? I worked a lot.
Yeah.
What's new?
Yeah. Oh God, I'm starting Wednesday. I start work back at my other job, and I'm working 7 days a week for the foreseeable future.
Working 9
I'm hoping.
to
Oh,
5.
what a way to make a living. But I'm hoping by January I have a down payment on a home.
Oh.
I can't wait. Then I'll be podcasting from my living room.
Yeah.
Well, a living room that I own.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
I'm paying off.
Yeah, exactly.
Just 30 more years of payments, and this living room is mine. Man, so just worked. Oh, I must say, if you didn't get a chance to get in there, Bay Day sales just passed.
Yeah. Levi's. Pew, 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 pew.
Levi's. No, skinny Levi's, three tens, I believe, and they were like $63.
310s?
That's the style number, the model number.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like...
These are the Levi's 310s, motherfucker. No. I haven't paid $300 for a pair of jeans in years.
I've literally never paid $300 for jeans.
Oh, let me tell you, you should at one point in your life get some
Shitballs.
their nudie brand raw denim jeans.
Ooh.
And I'm talking, untreated
like
jeans.
actual raw
So
denim.
so you wear them, and I wore mine for 14 months.
Yeah, and you just have to put them in the freezer to wash them.
If they get, I actually spilled a whole large double on them. Yeah, the whole thing. I was working at the TV station, and I was like changing in the audio booth, and I was put my coffee up here, and I was like, boop, and I got my legs stuck in, because they're super tight jeans, right?
Yeah.
My legs stuck in the one pant leg. I was like, no, and I had my coffee, and boom, all over the pants. It was, fuck, it was maybe the third week I've owned them. So into the freezer they went for 3 days. Pull them out. They didn't smell like coffee or anything. They were all right.
Cool.
Yeah, so I wore those things for 14 months before I washed them.
Raw denim
And they
is
looked,
like
they looked so cool.
hard, though. Like
It's like wearing a pair of pants made out of cardboard for the first couple months.
Yeah.
And you got to wear them all the time. Like you're sitting on the couch with them,
Stretch
you're
them out.
lounging with them,
Yeah.
walking with them, running with them. I'm trying to run with them because you sweat in them. They get all gross.
Yeah.
But after I washed them, within like a month, felt like sweatpants. They were so comfortable. I wore those things. I fixed them twice.
Wow.
Got them repaired twice. Then I got another pair a few years ago. I still have them, but I've ripped the crotch 3 times. And last time I got them repaired, she made them so tight I can't even like lift my knee up to parallel to the ground. I'm like, okay, these are my walking only jeans. Want to come up the stairs? I can't. These are too tight.
Ground floor only, folks.
Well, I was home at the farm, and my mom's like, "You want to check out our new trailer?" I'm like, "Sure." It's the second time I ripped them. Then I went to step up onto the step, and she goes, "Did you just rip your pants?" I'm like, yep.
Sounds like you need to stretch out that crotch.
Well, they were just worn out. They were worn out.
Oh.
Too much walking. That's all. That's all that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bay Day sales was great.
I gotta go check that out then, because I need some new jeans. It's so hard to find jeans though that fit me, because the jeans that fit my thick butt and my thick thighs
Is it with 2 C's?
Are way,
Is that with 2 C's?
Yeah.
Thick. Cool.
Thick. But yeah, ones that fit like my butt and my legs are way too big for my waist, and I can't get the waist altered, because then I won't be able to pull them up. Like, and you can't wear a belt with high-waisted jeans. What am I, Urkel?
Does anybody have any cheese? Did I do that?
I still remember all the words to the intro song to that show.
Really?
Family Matters. Yep. I sang it at karaoke a couple years ago. Because some places
Wow.
have it. Actually, it was at the Coyote last year.
Oh my God.
But they have the extended version, so there's like an extra verse in there. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
I know the theme song for Full House, where Urkel guest starred for an episode.
How did that song go, Full House?
Whatever happened to predictability?
Oh, yeah.
The milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. How did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. This whole world's confusing me. When you're lost out there and you're all alone, life is waiting to carry you home.
I forgot about that one.
What a blast from the past.
Family Matters, though. That was a good one.
Is that the one that's like
No. That's fucking. That's way before me. No, Family Matters is a.
Oh, I'm thinking of
It's
Sons
a
of
rare
Jefferson.
condition in this day and age to read any good news on a newspaper page. Love and tradition of the grand design. Some people say it's even harder to find.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'll just do that. That's
He's
just not
single, ladies.
bad. Hey, I look so baked right now, though. I'm testing out the cameras before he got here. I was like, oh, God.
You're like,
Eye cream. I need eye cream. Please. So I've like I told you, I cut a little bit of drinking. This last time we were to podcast, I was like, I just need to quit drinking. I look like fucking shit in the mornings. So now it's just smoking weed at night. I can't stop that. Just like weed. Here in Canada, here in BC, we have good weed.
yeah, and it's legal.
Happy belated 420. It was a while ago.
It was on the Lord's Day.
The
this
Lord's
year.
Day. I saw some video from the smoke up at the Parliament building.
Wow.
People do that. It's like, let's go smoke
Still?
up. I
No,
remember
it's legal.
going to one, it must have been like 2012, 2013 in Centennial Square.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty neat. It's like everybody counts down and then whoosh, this giant cloud of smoke. You're like,
Holy
Jesus Christ, guys.
shit.
I just smoke every day, though. It doesn't matter. It's just another
Yeah.
day for
Smoke
me.
weed every day.
Smoke weed every day.
Oh, I thought of something I did do. I got my workout for the whole week.
Ooh.
Yuck.
Disgusting. I'm just kind of getting over something, too, so I might have the occasional. It's okay, though.
I had this like 11 foot by 12 foot that was maybe 3 feet deep entertainment stand in my room.
I think it's big.
And it was
big.
it takes up like the whole wall there. It's fucking huge. And none of my stuff was in it except for like DVDs and movies. It was just in my room when I moved in. And my grandpa Brandon and I took it apart and took it downstairs into the garage to make room for like my dresser. And I feel like Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly in Step Brothers when they make their beds bunk beds. Like, I'm like, there's so much room.
We did that in our last band jam. Our drummer set his drum kit up to prep for a show, and we set him up over there because normally he's over here in this room where we jam. So he's outside the room, and there's a guitar player, bass player, me, and I'm like, I got all this fucking room in the middle because there's nobody. Like I'm just like his drum's over there, so I can walk. I walk like 10 feet by 10 feet. I was like, oh my God, spinning circles and shit. This is sweet. Doing a little weird fucking
Oh my
Quasimodo
God.
kind of crawl. So how about this? trash movie that we watched.
Yeah.
What was the last Vin Diesel movie you watched?
The Fast and the Furious.
The 8th one?
Yeah,
y'all-
the
are y'all
Fate of
caught
the
up?
Furious. Yeah.
There's 2 more coming, eh?
I know.
10 movies.
I
And the
love-
Hobbs and Shaw spin-off.
Yeah, okay. I'm actually excited for the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff just because
Hobbs and Shaw.
the line that got the most laughs, I think in the 7th one, was ad-libbed. I
yeah,
think I
you
told you
mentioned
about
this.
this.
Tyrese was like, better do that. He's like, better bring that big-ass forehead.
Yeah. Tyrese was like, you better hide the baby oil. And that
Baby
was in
oil.
the script. And then Dwayne The Rock Johnson didn't have a comeback, but he improvised, you better hide that big ass forehead. And Ludacris just spit out his Corona and started laughing so hard.
Did you know that the Rock and Dwayne Johnson are the same person?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
I was like, wow.
Mousetrap the movie. Wait, what? Hasbro.
Oh, God.
Oh, Battleship.
Let's-
That was a fun episode.
Yeah. But let's not. Okay. Wow. That was such an eloquent string of sentences.
Indubitably. Let me tell you something.
I was going to say that's the only movie from Hasbro based on a board game, but that's not true because
one?
Ouija is a game made by Hasbro. A game. It's sold in Toys R Us. Isn't that fucked?
Ouija boards are?
Ouija boards are sold in the board game section in Toys R Us. It's from Hasbro. It's considered a board game. So I have seen another board game movie.
Wow, it is a game. It's not real. We're not really conjuring
I'm
spirits with a
not
Ouija board.
fucking with any of that
I played with
shit.
one once and with our neighbor, like when I was 8 or 9.
Oh my
yeah, my dad was like,
God.
"What? You live with a Ouija board?
Yeah.
Never again. You're banned from there." It was kind of. I was like, "What the fuck is the big deal? It's a fucking game." And it felt like everyone was just pushing. I'm like, "You're just pushing the thing." I'm like, "There's no spirit moving this."
I mean, the likelihood of a Ouija board actually...
Ouija.
The likelihood of it actually being legit and like there being demons and monsters also alludes to the fact that school
is
out
recess.
for recess.
Boom.
Because if you open that door to like demons exist, then you also open the door that there is a God, and I'm not jumping in that, because if there is, I for sure am going to hell. For sure.
Me and Satan will be best friends.
That's what my friend and I said all the time. Someone like, if an old person told me I was going to hell when I was in 11th grade, I'd be like, yeah, I'm bunking with Satan. Hello. I have a key to his house.
Besties.
But I also don't want to like risk fucking with a Ouija board just because I'm already so fucked up and weird that no one will notice if I'm possessed. And then it's just going to be downhill. Like half the time I already sound like I'm speaking in tongues and make weird noises. So it'd be just another day and then I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
And then humanity would be fucked.
I can just picture Satan now, or God now, like, well, Katie, you led a great life when you were a nice person and you did this, but you played with a Ouija board once, so get out of heaven. Well, think of this too. My friend and I have talked about this before. Is everyone's idea of heaven is different. So if
That's
there
true.
is a heaven, I'm not going to have fun sitting around on clouds talking to
No.
my old family members all fucking day. No, I want to do some fun shit.
I want to swim in Doritos and go shopping for
Swimming
infinity.
in Doritos would cut you.
Not in heaven.
Oh, but just imagine how scratchy.
No, I'd Scrooge McDuck it.
Yeah,
diving into
you
the
couldn't
sea.
actually dive into coins though. Like,
Oh, I know.
You would just break every bone in your body.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And he's just swimming
I know.
freestyle, fucking
But yeah, like-
backstroke.
My heaven would be infinite shopping. I can buy what I want. Infinite sex.
I don't know.
Infinite snacks.
Yeah,
And
I would. Mine
Being in
would
my
be
prime forever.
Mine would be traveling
infinite
anywhere
alcohol.
but instantly. Not having to
Ooh,
stand in
yeah.
line for planes and shit.
that, yeah. I'm always zone one.
I thought of that. I'm like, well, I'd be able to fly everywhere, but I'm like, if I was in heaven, I wouldn't want to wait in the terminal and have
Nope.
to like, oh my god, are we boarding yet?
Did I? Oh my
Welcome to
God.
Westjet Flight 7274.
I forgot to tell you, when I went on my business trip, on the way back, I guess like for as long as I can remember, I've always traveled with my laptop in my checked bag as opposed to my carry-on.
Oh.
And I did that on the way there, and then on the way back, I went to check my bag, and the lady was like, "Do you have any electronics in your bag?" And I'm like, "Just my computer." And she's like, "No, that's not allowed. You have to take it out." And I was like, "What?"
Well, they just have to look at it.
No. I
swab
could
it.
not put it in my checked luggage. It had to be a carry-on, and they wouldn't give me a reason why. And she's just like, "It's against the rules." And I'm like, I've been traveling since I was like 14, and it's never been I haven't had a laptop since I was 14, but like,
Was it Air Canada?
yeah.
That's why. Fucking
And-
Air Canada is terrible to people.
It gets it gets better. So
Excuse me.
I'm forced, and I don't have a backpack. I just have my purse. So I'm forced to be carrying around my laptop as a carry-on now. And then when they're checking my bag, like my bag gets stuck in this gap and they're yanking it out. And I'm like, like sneakily taking videos of them treating my bag like shit in case it's broken. And then I go with security, and I'm boarding a plane I went with a coworker of mine from my store and 2 others who are flying to a different store in Kelowna. We go to security, and the security lady is like, "Ma'am, you need to come here." And I was like, "Oh my God, like what did I do?" And they make me take out my laptop, and they swab it, and they swab my laptop case, and they swab my purse, and it's never happened before. And I'm like, do I look like trouble? And I'm thinking in my head, like, it's
You
probably...
don't look like trouble. That's why.
I was thinking in my head, like, maybe it's because I kind of like got sassy at the Air Canada lady, because I was like, I've literally always traveled like this. I traveled here yesterday with it in my carry-on.
You can never. That's the problem with airline travel. You can't sass. You just have to be, yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. No, sir. Mhm.
But
anything you want.
once they swabbed my laptop and it was like, hey, it didn't come back with any nefarious stuff.
It was covered in cocaine.
I just like like I didn't have to wait in line. They swabbed me, they sent me through, and I was waiting for everyone else, and I was like, I'm not mad at it.
Why? What are they looking for? I've never understood it. What are they looking for? Like, why are they swabbing the keys of a laptop?
I think they're swabbing the keys of a laptop because, like, if heroin or cocaine or any other prohibited drug signals positive for having a residue there, then they're gonna look like it's gonna look like you're trafficking it.
But why would you put heroin or cocaine or powder drugs in a laptop? Like, why?
I know, right?
Why
Like, what
on
are
the
you
laptop?
doing? Are you doing like this? And then
Yeah, I'm usually, if I was ever doing hard drugs, I would never be like typing on my computer at the same time. Like, oh, I gotta write that 5,000 word essay.
Yeah, like it was wild. And then on the way there, speaking of Air Canada, like an hour and a half, 2 hours before our flight there, we get a text saying our flight's been canceled, and it was a beautiful day.
Gotta
like
love
this.
those.
So we had no idea why. So we had to emergency get on the next flight. We get on the next flight. It leaves at 5:05. And then at 3:00, we get a text saying your flight's been moved up to leaving at like 4:40. And I'm like, what the fuck? So it's 3:00. So I leave my house. And then I get in my car.
This is your new flight that's been bumped up now?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I get a text as soon as I get in my car, start my car, saying, basically, haha, just kidding, your flight's been moved back to 5:05. And I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to the airport anyway. Like, I can't risk what else is gonna happen.
I have heard so many horror stories from people flying Air Canada. I just don't understand why they're allowed to continue to mistreat people so much and get away with it.
I always have flown Air Canada when I'm traveling by myself. If I'm traveling with my grandparents, they have like the Avion visas or whatever, so we fly WestJet, but I always travel Air Canada by myself. I've never had an issue, ever. My flight's never been canceled or delayed. I've never had an issue with my bags. It was so weird, but it soured my feeling. And then so we get to the airport. We're sitting at the like little restaurant past security having food. And then our flight gets delayed again. And I'm like, oh my God, I need a drink now.
Yeah, and I don't understand how, like, where does it start? Where does the air traffic delay start? Like, what's your hypothesis? Is it slow people getting on a plane in one spot? Or maybe the fueling truck gets blocked by something and they can't fuel up a plane for some reason. Because they do that right away. As soon as they land, they're like, bam, with fuel in it.
Or maybe someone like, if it's delayed because the plane hasn't come, like that's wherever it's coming from's fault, like whatever. But if the plane is already here and we're waiting to get on it, I think it could be like searching luggage too. Like they find something odd in luggage. Because when I went on my BlizzCon trip and I was flying from the States to Canada, I had my like thrall hammer in my checked bag. And when I get home, I got this note saying like, we found something in your bag. We pulled it off like the flight. We checked it. And I was like, oh, that's why it was like a little delayed. So it could be that. Maybe someone had like a fake hammer.
Maybe. You want to hear something fucked up?
Oh yeah, always.
When I went to Mexico with my buddy a couple years ago to Cancun, and we, like idiots, the night before we left, we had to fly at like 5 a.m. And he shows up in Vancouver at 9, so it's 9:30. We're sitting having drinks, and I go, okay, we got to be up at 4. We could be responsible adults and go back to my place right now, go to bed, get a good sleep. I go, or he goes, or I said, or I sent a text message, we party all night. He goes, let's do it.
Yep.
Jesus, like idiots, we just partied till 4, and we left my place. We get into the bar that we thought was going to be open at 5 a.m. for some stupid reason in the airport. And like, nope, can't get any booze. And we're sitting there both like, oh my God. And he goes, I just wish we had a little bit more drugs. And I go, me too. We go to Cancun. We're there for 6 days. Come home. 3 days later, I'm going to my friend's wedding. I reach into a pair of pants that I had taken to Mexico with me and worn the night we went out in Mexico. Reach in my pocket, and I'm like, what is that, a gum wrapper? I pull out a bag of cocaine. I'm like, what the fuck? Put it back in my pocket. I go to one of my friends and go, hey, come over here. Check this out. And he goes, what is that? I'm like, what do you think it is? I took it to Mexico and back. I didn't get it in Mexico. It was a bag that I hadn't seen in like 2 years. I was like, my guy doesn't even use these right now. What the fuck? Like, where did this come from? It was so weird. So, and my bag had been rummaged through in the airport. Because I got my suitcase, I opened my suitcase, put my hoodie in there. I was like, why is all my shit's fucking just torn apart? I was like, wow, and they didn't find it. Or they planted it there.
Dun, dun, dun!
Because I seriously was like, where did this come from? It was so random.
Wild.
Yeah, but they went to Mexico and back with me. I was like, thank God I didn't get caught. Because
Oh
I'd be in like a Mexican prison right now.
Yeah, 100%.
That would suck. Prison Break 5. All right,
Jeff.
let's talk about this. Let's talk about this terrible movie.
Yeah.
So we watched The Last Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel
And
from
Rose
2015.
Leslie.
Who?
Ygritte from Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's sweet. I like her. 2015, 17% from the critics, 43% from the viewers, and it was an hour and 46 long.
I mean, it felt like it could have been an hour and 35.
It didn't feel overly long though, which was good.
No, because normally the movies
that we watch.
that we review are like 2 hours long, like Pixels, and I'm like, what the fuck, like.
Battleship was up there too, like 201 or 157.
Like, really, you really need this amount of time? Really?
Really?
Do
Anything?
you have anything to say?
Oh, Liam Neeson. Okay, so the gist of the movie. Do you want to do the gist? The gist?
The
Or want me to
gist?
do the gist?
Sure. So the gist of the movie is back in the witch times.
Which medieval times?
Bearded and haired Vin
God.
Diesel.
Viking-esque Vin
Yeah.
Diesel with the wild eyes that always look like he's surprised.
Yeah.
What was with his eyes? He had that stupid face.
I know. Maybe he's surprised he's not in a Fast and the Furious movie.
Maybe, but he's got 2 more.
Yeah.
He's going to get to live his life a quarter mile at a time. 2 more times.
But yeah, so he's a witch hunter, and him and his
Witch hunter
brotherhood,
band.
yeah, they kill the witch queen, and then as the witch queen's dying, she makes him immortal because she knows he wants to die because his wife and kid is dead. She gives him the curse of immortality. Flash forward to, I assume, like 2017 when it came out.
Yeah, 2015.
Oh, 2015. And he's still a witch hunter, except now there's a truce, and he's more...
He's bald with no beard.
Yeah, he's completely hairless.
Completely.
And now he's just kind of going about making sure that the treaty and the peace between humans and witches is kept. And there's a rule that witches can't use their magic against humans. If they are, they're incarcerated. And here we are.
Yeah. All right, so let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
So back in the medieval times, they're hunting this witch. They find her tree. I guess she always makes a big tree.
Yeah.
And lives under a giant, evil-looking tree. Can't remember what they called it. There was a name for it, I think, but it doesn't matter. So they go under the tree. They're like, we have to find her and burn the whole tree. So they find this fucking queen. She's pretty badass looking. She fills the dude with flies.
Yeah, because she brought the plague. Like earlier, in the
plague
medieval
flies,
time.
that's
Yeah,
right.
earlier she was talking about, or the hunters were talking about how she brought like the black plague or whatever, and I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I can believe that.
Why are like witches always like portrayed as ugly?
She looked like she could be good looking underneath that hideous outer shell.
Yeah, but I mean, even just in cinema in general, you know, like
Green skin.
they're
Striped socks.
or Roald Dahl's witches, like those horrific, like Angelica Houston. Remember the movie
Oh,
where?
yeah.
Yeah, they're
Big,
always
big wart on her nose.
yeah.
She's a witch.
Yeah. And I don't know, like witches are always associated with like getting their magic from usually the four elements. They're really in tune with nature. That makes me think that, I don't know, they'd be more on the like beautiful side.
Like more like a nymph of some
Yeah,
sort.
I guess. Or like,
Or a fairy.
I don't know. It's just like, I want to see a really, really smoking witch.
That would be kind of cool.
Right.
Wow, just wait for Halloween. See lots of them.
I'm a sexy witch.
I'm a sexy cat. Shut up, you sluts. That's all you are. Not all of them.
No.
Okay. I find the idea of a flaming sword back in the medieval times
Yeah.
extremely dangerous.
He's like, with iron and fire.
They're covered in furs
I
that
know.
will burn. And he's just like willy-nilly swinging this flaming sword around a highly flammable area.
Mm-hmm.
And how does he light it on fire? Like, it's witch hunter, he's magic. I guess he's magic. And he just goes, badoosh. He's like Thoros of Myr.
Yeah.
With my flaming sword. Or
Yeah.
what the hell's his buddy's name? Not Thoros. Crap. I just watched Game of Thrones. I should know this name. Doesn't matter. Beric Dondarrion.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got the flaming sword. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they... Blah, blah, blah. It's like, again, all the movies we watch are like Van Damme-style fights.
Yeah.
This was another one. Only attack her one at a time, guys. Don't swarm her.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I was like, you're just fighting one-on-one.
I know.
Why do you do this?
I will say, thinking back, I made a note like way later on because that's when I noticed it. But going back to the beginning, I noticed it. The witch queen concept was super like cool. Like her spinal cord ponytail or whatever. Like
Yeah, she looked badass. That's what I was saying earlier.
yeah,
But she was a cool villain. Mm-hmm. But you only got to see her for a collective 8 minutes in the whole movie, pretty much.
yeah.
Because, okay, they fight her, and then...
Killer.
yeah, I said Vin Diesel isn't a convincing Viking at all. Not at all.
He's too modern looking.
Yeah, he doesn't look like... You've watched Vikings.
Yeah.
Or The Last Kingdom.
Yeah.
They look like Vikings.
Totally.
He just did not... Like, thankfully, it was only 10 minutes of the movie, or 8 minutes of the movie. You're like, all right, then we just get to see normal Vin Diesel.
yeah.
In all of his glory.
Vocal fry.
Why does this tree have a giant pit underneath it? Like, what is this pit? What was the pit? Because, like, she knocked him down this gigantic pit.
It was like
And then they fought in the pit. The pit.
the pit.
The pit.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it just seemed weird. And then the whole place just went up in flames in, like, no time.
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, just boom. That
Yeah,
would
that
be
flaming sword.
that would be unbearably hot. Yeah, how close have you been to a bonfire before?
Really?
Yeah, my dad lit one. I spent a summer like clearing out the bush on the farm, and I built a pile that was like 80 feet long by 30 feet wide and 10 feet high. And I'm like, don't light this on fire. I'm gonna have a bonfire party. And I came home one day, and he's like, he lit the whole thing on fire. The flames are hitting the power lines, and he's like, we're gonna have a party around this thing. I'm like, probably that was a bad idea because you couldn't even get within 30 feet of it. This whole place was in flames, and he's just like, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
kill you.
And in his fur.
Yeah,
Like
the furs would have just engulfed him in flames. He would have been toast. This movie wouldn't have been more than 8 minutes long
yeah.
because he would have burned. Ah.
So then they kill her, And he's cursed with immortality.
Oh, wait.
And then.
But he stabs her and like a moron just leans right into her. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like he could have avoided the curse because he's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's basically kissing her like, I killed you. And then she just reaches into his chest and grabs his heart and is like, ha ha ha, I curse you. It's silly. I'm like, why? Why would you be so stupid to get that close?
Just like villains giving like 10-minute monologues when they should just kill who they want to
Oh
kill.
man, she suffered from that later on too. Talking
Yeah.
too much. Just kill them. Just kill them.
Yeah.
Every movie we watch, the bad guys are like, "Bah, ha, ha, I have you now."
Here
What
is
am I
my
going to do?
plan. Yeah. And then we go to the future. We're on a plane, and Vin Diesel blows on the window, and it reveals a sigil that means there's magic aboard.
Yeah,
And
I don't understand why.
the realist in me, when I saw the plane flying through that storm, I was like, how irresponsible is this pilot? Like,
Oh, yeah.
why are you flying through this fucking storm?
And no like word of a warning. Everyone seems really calm.
Yeah,
They're
I
just
didn't.
like,
I didn't
"Arr."
even hear the seatbelt sign, bing bong, go on.
Bing.
Attention, everybody. Capitals, pull the fasten your seatbelt sign. I'm going to hit some turbulence here right away.
Yeah, and he finds the witch. He just walks around and starts like, he spills water on some dude to get him out of the way.
Yeah, I guess.
Which just seems weird. If somebody just comes hovering over you, you're like, what the fuck do you want, dude? Back off. Dude, shut the fuck up with your motorbike.
He's literally.
He just starts it up and turns it off.
I drive a big bike because I have a small penis.
Nobody's listening to us. Get out of town. Oh, South Park. Anyway. Oh, he sounds like he's going to drive it off now.
Good. Bye, bitch.
Yeah, so then he goes over to the witch and is like, blah, 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 you're a witch. Give me the stones.
Yeah.
She has some runes in her pocket.
He confiscates her runes.
And basically, the dialogue was so hard to watch.
I
to
know.
listen
He's
to.
like, you don't even know how powerful you are.
You have no idea how powerful you are. But they runes it better. Blah, 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 blah. Like he's one note all the time. I'm Vin Diesel. Blah, blah, blah. So he pulls the runes apart because the runes were eventually going to cause a storm so big it just tore the plane apart. And still, like, nobody's really panicky until the masks come down. Like, there's gigantic strikes of lightning hitting all around
Yeah.
your plane. No, and everyone's just like,
Everyone would be petrified.
well, I don't know what's going on. I fucking hate turbulence in planes. I don't know about you.
That reminds me of this one time. A few girls went on a business trip to Mexico, and the pilot of the plane that the majority of the girls were on decided to fly through a storm, and it was so terrifying. Like, people were getting sick all over each other. Like, it was high turbulence. Literally, everyone thought they were gonna die. Like, people were like trying to call their loved ones. They were so petrified. And that, like, this is what I thought about. I'm like, really? This isn't accurate. People would be freaking the fuck out. Like, no.
I remember just trying to land in Victoria once when it was super foggy. We had to circle the airport 3 times. And like the third time I was watching out the window and all of a sudden it's like, woo, there's the ground. Boom. People start clapping and cheering. But there's some people that didn't even notice. I look over at someone across the seat. I'm like, that was fucking wild. Then they go, what?
What?
I'm like, we circled the airport. We almost had to go back to Calgary. They're like, I didn't even notice. I'm like, are you fucking dumb? Do you like, I don't know. When I'm on an airplane, I'm usually like, okay,
I'm on
we got
high
on,
alert.
we got on at this time. We're taking off now. The flight's supposed to be this long. I know exactly when we're going to land.
Yep.
I've never been one to just get on there and be like, what? How
Let's
long is
do
this going
it.
to take? Like,
Yeah,
where
no.
are we? Because there was one time, I remember this. I fucking got on a plane in Seattle. I had to fly to LA. And I remember it had turned around, but I'd fallen asleep. So it turned around. We had to go back. And I was like, are we landing already? And someone goes, no, we got to turn around. I'm like, what the fuck? Had to turn around and switch planes and get another plane. I was like, well, that was weird. I was like, oh, we're almost in LA. And like, no, we're not. We're back in Seattle. Awesome. That was fucking years ago. All right, where are we at? Oh, Michael Caine. I love Michael. I love Michael Caine. Did you know that if you say my cocaine in Michael Caine's accent, it sounds like you're saying. Wait, if you say Michael Caine in Michael Caine's accent, it sounds like you're saying my cocaine.
My cocaine.
My cocaine.
My
My cocaine.
cocaine.
Where's Michael Caine?
Where's my cocaine at?
Vin's been alive, 800 years.
Yeah.
He's been alive for 800 years. And he is getting a new Dolan. Dolan is the guy who, like, watches him.
Yeah.
His partner.
Of
Michael
the-
Caine is
what's
his
it called?
Dolan.
The Axe and Cross?
Axe and Cross. It sounds like a bar.
Yeah.
Like a gastropub.
Yeah.
Let's go down to the, come on down to the Axe and Cross. We have 24 taps of craft beer.
Yeah.
And all the ribs you can eat.
Or like Lord of the Rings. Like they have the prancing pony. So like the Axe and Cross.
20 miles.
The Buckle Bay Ferry.
Speaking of Lord of the Rings.
Frodo.
Elijah Wood, my baby, is in this movie.
I'm like, Frodo. He's
Except
the new Dolan.
He has a weird fucking haircut.
I knew this piece of shit was evil from the beginning.
Really?
I didn't trust him from the start.
Whoa.
I did not. I was like, nope, don't like him. He's evil. He's gonna double cross Vin.
What made you think that?
I just didn't like him. I just had a gut
Interesting.
feeling about him. I was like, I don't like him. And then there was a scene later on where Vin like grabs him by the throat. It's like, you're fucking blah blah blah. And he's like, I'm here to help you. I'm like, no, you're not. You're fucking lying. It's already like, this is him. Oh, he redeemed himself. He's good. No, he's not. He's bad.
Yeah.
I knew he was bad right from the start.
I thought like there was gonna be something involving him. I just thought he was gonna be revealed to be like a witch and like infiltrating the Axe and the Cross to, you know, I didn't think it was going to be straight up like evil. I just thought there's more for him to play, like, you know, especially because knowing Elijah Wood as an actor, like, knowing him personally. No, but I remember reading something after Lord of the Rings where he said, like, I want to do really interesting and weird projects, which is why he signed on for Wilfred.
Wilfred was so good. So good.
And, oh my God, fuck, what's it called? There's a movie that he's in called, like,
What's it about?
Psycho. It's shot from first person as
Hardcore
him.
Henry?
No. It's just one word. Panic? Maniac.
He's not, what? No, he's not in Maniac. Maniac's a series.
No, there's
Maniac
a movie
is
too.
Well, what? Really?
He was in a movie and it was all shot in like his view, first person, and he is this guy with like schizophrenia or something, and he's the serial killer, and it's so good.
I have to look it up.
And
I'll write it down.
So I knew seeing him in this, he didn't just sign up to like have a little bit part, like you know, so I figured there was going to be something, but I didn't expect the whole like
Yeah, I
thing at the
don't know. I
end.
just had a weird. As soon as I saw him, I was like, I think he's meant to be evil. He's not supposed to be as helpful as Michael Caine was.
maybe it was a
He's a bad
haircut.
guy. Well, I don't know. Just didn't something in his eyes. I didn't trust him.
Yeah.
Just didn't trust him. I just don't trust Elijah Wood. I don't trust you, Frodo.
And I even said, I'm like, Elijah, fix your hair, you turd. Like it was like the men's equivalent of I want to speak to the manager hair.
I love this. Okay, so yeah, he meets this new Dolan, and so Elijah Wood's like, "Oh, I'm working on getting you a new identity and new this and new that," out loud on the street
know.
around people. I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, so I started thinking, okay, are witches just normal? Like, witches are everywhere apparently on the earth. Do people know that witches exist? Is this a known
Yeah,
thing? Like, are there stories on the news like, wow, another witch sighting today, or 3 witches were arrested in downtown East Side for selling runes? Like, that's why I was wondering. So I was like, does anybody actually know about this? Like, he's just openly talking about it like it's no big deal.
I don't think so, because their truce is like witches can't use their magic on humans. That's the thing. If humans knew that witches were around, you bet your ass they'd be knocking on those doors for like magic potions, love spells, this, that, or the other thing. So I don't think humans knew about witches and witch hunters. I think it was a secret thing.
So what about, so a little bit later on, so now we get to there's a couple of things I forgot what happened, like 3 dead flies, that means trouble. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
It was it was in Kane's office. They're like, he was murdered.
As
And it's
soon
like,
as-
1 dead fly, that's something. And then, oh, look, 2 dead flies is coincidence. 3 means trouble.
As soon as Michael Caine's character died, I was like, oh yeah, he didn't just die. Like he was
killed.
murdered. Yeah,
'Cause
totally.
It wasn't like, when you heard, oh, he died peacefully in his sleep, I'm like, well, he didn't even seem sick at all. Like,
no,
he
he
never
didn't.
mentioned that he was just going to be like, well, today's my last day. I'm dead tonight.
Yeah, and then that's what Vin Diesel said. He's like, I've seen people retire, get old, and die not in the same day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this happened in the same day? Like, where the fuck am I?
this is-
Already, I can't follow this.
This movie was dumb. But then, yeah, so the 3 dead flies, and he breathes on the window, and he doesn't see anything. Or does he?
No,
then he lights a lighter.
And he doesn't see anything. And then he's like, that's it. And I'm like, there are 2 other elements, idiot.
Yeah, and then, boom, it's like, there was a shield spell or a disguise spell on the room or something. Nobody wanted to see us. What happened? Because it's torn apart. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
And then he picks up his like journal or whatever, and there's blood, and he's like, let me see your hands. And then immediately Elijah Wood's like super shifty. And I'm like,
yeah, see, right there was when I was like, hey, he's totally evil. He is.
And then Vin Diesel sees the burn on his hand, and he says like, you saved me. Witches burned down my house and killed my parents when I was a kid, and you saved me. Do you remember that? And he's like,
I do.
Yeah, he's like,
I remember. I remember.
And he's like, I've been waiting X amount of years to help you do this. And I'm like,
yeah, I didn't buy a word of it. Not one word, Elijah.
Yeah.
Fuck you. So at one point, Vin's like, this is dark magic. Wait, this isn't dark magic. This is worse than dark magic.
Yeah.
Like, was it like super, like mega dark
super
magic?
ultra mega dark magic.
Ultra mega super magic.
Yeah.
The darkest of the dark, like the inside of a closet on a moonless night.
So then I made a note. This has nothing to do with the movie, but Vin Diesel's wearing a ring on his middle finger here, and I said, Vin Diesel has hands for rings. Like, he has those thick hands that
Where's the big rings that would slide off your normal sized fingers?
Just like Jason Momoa. He's like chock full of rings, and I'm like, hello.
I used to work with this guy who was a welder who would have like giant skull rings, like 3 on each hand. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Lip rings, eyebrow rings, tattoo, neck tattoo. I'm like, badass. Dude's one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
But he's just like, skull.
Shout out to Jay if you're ever watching this.
Hi.
Yeah. So the Bug Bakery.
Oh my God.
They walk in. I'm going, okay, what's happening here? Why are people swarming to a place full of bugs, like butterflies everywhere?
So
it's mind-altering bugs.
Yeah, exactly. And then he was like, I'm not doing anything illegal. And Elijah Wood's like, there's humans out there. Like, you're not allowed to use
drugs.
Yeah, you're not allowed to use magic on humans. And I'm just like, really? Like, you're splitting hairs right now. Like,
it's a weird, like, that's the thing. The whole interaction between humans and the magic realm isn't explained in this movie at all.
no, because like how
It's not like Bright. Like Bright says the orcs and fairies and shit living with humans. Okay, it makes sense then. There's an integration of the two, but here it's just like, do people know? Like,
No,
people are
and
just
then-
eating magic bugs, and they're like, I don't know what's in these bugs, but they're good.
Well, no, because the bugs are turned into like cupcakes and pastries and stuff. So the humans have no idea that they're eating bugs, but at the same time,
You're
it's
eating
like
mind-altering cupcakes. Like something's like, oh, there's something in this cupcake, man. There's something in the sesame seeds.
But at the same time, it's like, as a witch, knowing that, you're not allowed to use magic on humans, by going into business like that, like, it's a gray area because obviously a human's going to want to go to a bakery and be like, what's up? I want a cupcake. And you can't turn them away because in 2015 even, there would be like, this is a discrimination, this is whatever. Like, it just, there's no explanation for...
None. So it makes it really hard to get into the story of this movie because, like, I really have no frame of reference of what's happening here. Because even that, they talk for a bit, and what does he ask him for? My only buzz.
A memory potion or something. Because he realizes through the book that I was gonna call Michael Caine Alfred.
It works. He was.
Michael Caine cut his own. Oh yeah. So, oops, we fast forwarded a little bit. So he realizes that Michael Caine is cursed, not dead.
Oh, dead.
And then looks at his hand and sees the cut and realizes he was sending a message to Vin Diesel's character.
Was, remember your death.
Yeah. So then he goes to get a memory potion, and then he goes to like a witch bar or whatever and meets Chloe, Rose Leslie.
Egret.
And I love her.
She's super sweet.
She's married to Kit Harington, Jon Snow in real life.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
I think I knew that.
They got married.
I think I knew that.
So cute.
Aww.
I know. You might meet your soulmate on a set.
Never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
So then...
Weird, wearing jeans and not shorts. The
It's
jeans
weird
are jeans.
It's weird seeing you in jeans.
Feels good though. I like these.
They look good.
Okay, hold on. So he's trying to find this shit first, and he leaves a gummy bear trail of candy
Yeah.
for some kid to a tree because he's trying to find. Because he smells the embalming fluid.
Oh yeah, they said he
at
smelled
the crime
like
scene or whatever, and he's like, he smells like embalming
he
fluid.
smelled like garlic and
Formaldehyde or something.
yeah.
But he's like, we were looking for a person who might be living in an old
Funeral home.
Yeah, funeral home.
Yeah, next to a crabapple tree.
He's like, I need to find a funeral home next to a crabapple tree. So then, like the scene later where there's a trail of gummy bears. Some kid's following a trail of gummy bears, walks up to this tree with gummy bears all over it. So Vin Diesel has masked that with gummy bears. It's a tree with dying crab apples. And the kid walks up and he goes, didn't your parents ever teach you not to eat candy from a tree? I'm like,
I don't think
no.
he did that. I think it was the witch that was like put a
Oh, okay. That was
Yeah.
living there. That was staying there. That
Yeah.
dude. Okay, that makes sense. But still, like, didn't your
know.
parents ever tell you not to eat candy from a tree? No parents
No.
ever told their kid that because that's not fucking real.
yeah.
It was the dumbest,
kid
the
human
dumbest
or
line
what?
of dialogue ever.
I know. So then we meet the warlock or witch's name is Belial.
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 Belial, yeah.
And I said Belial. What is that short for? Be a little bitch. Belial bitch.
He was kind of a little bitch at the end.
Yeah.
Belial.
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 And then I called it as soon as Belial shows up when Vin Diesel is in his memory.
That's right.
I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna fall in love for sure.
Oh, for sure. You could see it. And
Yeah.
like Vin Diesel always ends up with a girl in all these movies. And I'm like, man, like even in Triple X, he's like the man. I'm like, dude, you're like in your 40s and trying to hit on 18-year-olds. Like, it's kind of like watching a creepy
weird.
uncle at a
At a
backyard
Christmas-
barbecue
yeah.
or something. Ugh. Uncle Larry, get out of here.
So then
Gross.
we find out that Chloe gets him out of his dream, and we find out that she's a dream walker, and it's a black gift, which
Dreamwalker, I'm pretty sure, is from the movie or the book series, The Sword of Truth. It's Dreamwalker or Dream something.
Dreamweaver?
One of that Dreamweaver. I believe you can get me through the night. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's a dream walker. So how do they get out of that situation? The whole place gets burned, doesn't it?
They escape, and
Oh yeah.
she's pissed.
Again, that fire would be unbearably hot.
Yeah.
And nobody gets their skin burned. Nobody even has first degree burns.
Yep.
And they end up at Chloe's
They-
place, don't they? Because I
yeah.
wrote down, I liked her living wall setup with the lights and the.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
That was cool.
And then she almost gets pulled into a fucking witch hole there.
Yeah,
By
which
Belial, I'm guessing.
yeah.
No explanation there. She gets pulled right into it. And,
And
then
then
he's like, grab my hand and pulls her out. I'm like, okay, what was going to happen to her in there? And how did she not just get yanked right in and the hole gets sealed up?
Yeah.
Why was it left open for him to be like, hey, grab my hand? There's no, no explanation about this shit.
No.
I thought Belial might have been a necromancer
Yeah.
because he's darker than dark magic. He's the darkest of the dark magic. And necromancers are pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking maybe that's what he was. I wrote down necromancer, ? Belial, ?
Belial a bit.
And how the fuck did Vin Diesel just take Michael Caine's body out of where it was and bring it back
I
to his
know.
place? Because all of a sudden he's like, I'm going to get you out of this, old man. And then he like breaks him out of the curse.
Yeah, and then they're at the fashion show, and then that fashion show lady who's hitting on Vin Diesel like puts him in a trance to trap him, and I'm like, damn, everyone is fucking with him. Why?
I'm not sure why. Like, I don't know why they don't just kill him too. Yeah, again, she like, if you want to get rid of him, just kill him.
Well,
just
they
kill
can't.
him. Oh yeah, because he can't die.
Yeah. Man. I know. So then that's when we find out that Rose Leslie is a dreamwalker because she goes in and rescues him. And it's considered a black gift. I know not why. And he's like, you did that and showed me who you were, like, knowing the consequences, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what? Like, please explain to me why it's a black gift. Please explain something to me. Anything.
They haven't explained
please.
anything to us. So, oh God, okay. Eventually, the witch gets her tree back, another tree. They bring back the witch because I wrote down, Why would she link her heart to him? And then it made sense. Oh, for insurance.
Yeah.
800 years later, he's still alive. Your heart's still alive. Because they have a little flashback where they're trying to kill the heart.
Yeah,
and
and then
like,
they realize they're connected.
Like, oh,
And
it's
then-
killing him. And he's
And
like,
then
don't worry
the
about it. It's all
Dolan
good.
guy, yeah, and then the Dolan guy keeps the heart. I'm
What
like,
is that stupid bird doing? You see it?
yeah.
It's trying to fly into the fence.
Oh, what are you doing, friend?
that
Maybe there's a
bird.
bug in there.
Must be. Anyway. That bird is drunk.
Oh my god.
Weird. Oh, okay. So I made this note. Vin is not the most perceptive witch hunter. Everybody gets the drop on him.
Yeah.
Everybody. He's at the tree and somebody gets the drop on him. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop getting dropped on. Ah.
And then so he goes to like where the tree is or whatever. And I was like, oh, conveniently there's no traffic in New York City.
None.
Every movie ever.
None.
Okay.
I wrote down the witch prison. What is this, Ghostbusters? Because
Yeah.
they're trying to break the witches out of the witch prison. And he's like, every single witch I've ever caught has been put in the same place. Why? Why would you do that?
We built our own coven. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
you
you're
don't
like-
think a bunch of the most powerful witches ever can like break out? Like, what the fuck?
We've captured the 50 most dangerous criminals in the world and locked them into one high security penitentiary
Yeah.
with no cells. They're all allowed to congregate together.
What could go wrong?
Prison Break 10.
God.
Coming
it's
this
so,
summer. This movie's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's just there was no point to it. I'm like, okay, like there was a point, but it was shitty.
So then we find out that she takes her heart back from him and he's not immortal anymore. And now he's like, well, shit, I really have to go find her now.
Yeah.
Like, I really have to go find her.
Arms himself with a shotgun that maybe holds 5 or 6 rounds, shells, and he goes and fights a giant. Oh, I love this one line he has though. He says, "Every chain has a weak link," because he has to go and find the weakest,
Right.
the weakest witch. But I'm thinking, like, does it though? Like, if you got a really strong chain all built of strong
Yeah.
links, does it have a weak link? I don't know if that's a real statement or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, he shoots. He's fighting this gigantic spider with legs.
Yeah,
Or
that
spider with fucking swords for legs.
Yeah.
And he shoots this shotgun like 9 times. I'm like, no, you ran out of ammo 3 rounds ago.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid movie. Shoots the thing and comes back to life. I'm like, why'd you bother shooting it then? Why don't you just
Yeah.
hit it with your sword or whatever? Because he does that.
Yeah.
No, he jumps through the giant spider. He just shoots it and then goes, "Blah!" and just football tackles it and breaks it into pieces.
Oh,
then it rebuilds itself.
God.
I felt like, he never loses his breath in
I
movies.
know.
Vin Diesel never loses his breath in any movie.
Yeah.
He could be running 100 miles an hour. 100 miles an hour. He can run for 100 miles, and the next thing he'll go, I just ran 100 miles to get here. Not even out of breath. Like, he doesn't notice that. He's never like,
It's true.
oh, man, this fight is tough. You're immortal, but you're not fucking, your cardio's not 100%.
Yeah.
You get lazy in 800 years.
I
I found that unbelievable.
Yeah. So then Chloe Dream walks into the witch, the weak link witch, to kill him and stop the chanting and the bugs.
Oh, yeah.
Because she wants to create a new bug plague. And she kills him, and then they go after the queen. And then that's when we find out that Frodo is bad.
Yep, Frodo's a witch. He's a witch.
He's about to. Vin Diesel's about to kill the witch queen, and then Frodo's like, "Stop!" And he has a gun to Chloe's head. But no, he's not a witch. His parents.
He's a wannabe witch.
Yeah, his parents were witches, and they were killed. And he somehow thought the witch queen was going to be able to give him powers, and then she's just like,
You got powers.
"You can't turn clay into gold. You're just human," and kills him. And I'm
With
like,
the flies.
yeah, I'm like, oh my god, bitch.
Strong flies. You just pick them right up.
Yeah, I guess.
I thought it was bees when I first started watching
Yeah.
this. I'm like, oh, bees. Like, this is like Candyman style.
Right?
No, it's just flies. Just plague flies. It's not the same.
So
I felt like the final fight was in I Am Legend. They
Yeah.
go through a portal and all of a sudden they're in like overgrown New York. I'm like,
Yeah.
where's Will Smith?
and
Where are the zombies?
also Frodo shoots Vin Diesel like 4 times.
Does he?
Yeah,
It doesn't,
he's
do,
like,
it doesn't do anything to him, though, does it?
no. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
because he can't
bitch, you're
die.
no,
he's
mortal
mortal
now.
now. Adrenaline?
Okay.
No, I don't believe it. It's not.
No. And then the queen possesses Chloe, and she starts the chain via the dream weaving. That's what I said, dream weaving.
Dream weaving.
In, the I Am Legend thing.
Yeah.
And then Calder's wife and daughter do the stereotypical send him back when he's about to die. And then
Not your time.
he throws the storm, I call them storm stones,
Oh,
those
God.
runes from the plane into a puddle, creates the storm, the lightning, throws the sword through the lightning, it lights on fire, it kills the queen, but her heart's still beating, and then he's about to kill her, and Chloe convinces him not to kill her.
Yeah, and because the world still needs you.
Yeah, because she said she saw things much darker than the queen, and I'm like,
Oh, and the queen only got killed because she made the classic bad guy mistake.
yeah.
She's talking too much. Just kill him. If I'm ever a villain,
I'm
if we
just
hit an
gonna-
apocalypse and I just turn evil, I'm not gonna say like, hi, boom, stabbed. Hey, boom, you're dead. Not even gonna chance it. No, we're innocent.
Yeah. Nope. Nope.
Dark. Quite dark. And I said, that's a lot of flies to clean up.
Yeah, they just fall.
bullfrogs!
And then
So many flies.
they were obviously setting it up for a sequel. And when I was reading the trivia, they were anticipating a sequel until it did so poorly. Like,
Good.
when they were making this movie, they were already planning a sequel. And I'm like, are you fucked? And that's the thing with all these bad movies we've reviewed. They always set it up for sequels.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
We're
like,
gonna look to see if any of them have actually had. Well, Sharknado, that Bo and I did months back, has 3 more, 2 more. Wait, 1 more. No, 2 more. We did the 4th. Yeah, we gotta do 5 and 6. We do.
and then there is kind of like a post-credit scene.
Well, what
Where-
was it?
They
I'm pretty sure I watched it.
Rose Leslie is like, I'm driving, and she Tokyo drifts
yeah. Like, what is she doing? Why is she ripping through the streets like
of
that?
New York, and then the queen's heart beating in a vault.
This movie was just what a waste of our time.
Yeah, actually, like it wasn't even like a fun.
No, it was like there was
Fantasy thing.
and at no point was I like, this is all right. I just
Yeah.
watched it begrudgingly. Just, oh, God, get it done.
Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck. It was to the point where I went on Wikipedia and read the whole plot so I would know how much fucking longer it was.
I just kept always hitting the button on the controller, just like, oh, God, 58 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, 43 minutes. Go on.
And then you
44 minutes. The time's going backwards.
and then you skim and you're like, can I skip any of these scenes?
I think about it. I don't do it, though.
No.
Because every time if I do, I'm not paying attention. You're like, remember that part? And I'm like, oh, no.
You're like, what?
What are you talking about?
You're like, I was getting a beer.
I must have blinked really slowly for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you can make this movie better because
Nope.
you just need a totally new story and a totally new cast
Mm-hmm.
and a different hero and make it grittier.
Yeah.
Make it grittier. Make it a dirty movie.
This
make
should-
it
this should have
make
been
it
rated R.
R-rated. Yeah, make it R-rated. Make it badass with blood and gore and
Yeah.
violence. And Ygritte getting naked.
Hmm.
Damn, she was hot in Game of Thrones. Man. No, I give it 1 flaming sword out of 10.
I was literally about to say that. Yep.
1 fire sword out of 10.
Yep. Same.
Yeah, this movie was bad.
Not good.
Well, find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Podbean.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Castbox is Google Play. I did
Oh.
submit that like 2 weeks ago, and they just never got back to me. And I emailed them the other day and was like, hey, why are we not up there? And then all of a sudden I get an email, you're on Google Play. I'm like, you motherfuckers. So
Cool.
we're everywhere, basically. Spotify, Podbean, all that fun stuff. Yeah, if you like something, comment. If you don't, comment.
Yeah.
If you have any suggestions for movies, let us know.
Totally.
Let's call it there. Bye.
Bye.
This is real garbage.